good afternoon, good evening, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, wherever you are, greet you according to your time zone. Today we bring you another exposition about the zoo called Nigeria, how those who believe that they knew upon their education, they knew very well that the country called Nigeria is expired and nothing will ever make Nigeria work. It have never worked and it will never work. But yet they continue to take it to deceive those gullible, to make them believe that yes, somehow by conducting another edition of election, charade the correlation, maybe something good will ever happen, when they know right in their mind that yes, it will still be the same. See, here you watch this video, you see that this guy Magitegun there was able to explain how and reason why he abandoned his friend Sowore, because he knew and he believed, he knew very well that nothing will ever make Nigeria work. So why wasting your time for something you know that it will never work? It is continue to deceive yourself. And as he explained that Sowore have once in the past in his program in the show told them that what PVC means poverty validation certificate. So which means he knew very well that nothing good will ever come from Nigeria election, but yet he want to validate it. One other guy again, which is a Yoruba, a very sound lawyer who have been in the past agitating, telling you that what nothing will ever make Nigeria work, especially when he go ahead in electing whoever they want to elect as their new president, that it's just a question of changing one criminal to another. As soon as as far as the person is going to govern the country with the same 1999 constitution, nothing good will ever happen. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, this person will still went back and begin to support Obi, as if maybe at the end of the day, Obi is going to use any other constitution other than the same that 1999 constitution. Although that's one, I will bring the video, the clip of that one, but more on this very thing. But today, I want to give you how Magitegun General was able to explain why he can never ever believe in the Nigeria election once again, and he will never support Sowore in validating the contraction called Nigeria. Watch the video and please like our video, subscribe, share, and then comment and give us your own view of the decision.
I kind of respect APC, Egbekegbese type of criminality and confidence. Now, sometimes, right, you can admire people's insensitivity, creating and living in their own world, beating their chest in their failure, and awarding themselves a award of excellence in the ruins that is staring them on the faces as well. Sometimes you have to feel like it's cringy. Do you get that? It's cringy. Like, oh, it's Magitegun is that's cringy. Like I can never admire them. No, I don't understand. But I mean, in my lifetime, I haven't read much, but in my lifetime, I am witnessing where shameless people are actually real and they are unshameful. No shame at all. I'll tell you why I'm saying this though. In 2015, I don't know if some of you, if your Stockholm syndrome, if we have destroyed your Stockholm syndrome, you will remember what I'm about to say. But if your own Stockholm syndrome don't enter, no repair, demorage, maybe say bakulowa, kushe shinjimo. Here you get, I will still manage and remind you. In 2015, if you all remember, it It was Fashola of Lagos was their star boy. And they were telling all of you, the moment, do you want your state to be like Lagos? Do you want the progress that Lagos has been experiencing? You said yes. Would you like your this? Even Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola, at a point he came out and he said, if you want power, the reason why Nigeria has no power is because of the Bantueyo, the people you put in charge of government in Nigeria. If you want power, you should give APC, Egbekegbe chance. This is the 7th year, okay? Even the Lagos they use as example for you back then. That APC, Egbekegbe will turn to the special status. They will give Lagos State special status. One of the reasons why some of the zombies, Lagos Abobakus, were speaking in tongues for Bokwari, the same criminal that cancelled their development that Jan Conde was putting in place in the early 80s. This is why the Lagos Abobakus, the ass lickers, were going everywhere and they were ready to run. They were actually running mad. They were running mad. They were going to give Lagos State a special status. 2022, 23 years after democracy, 23 years of Tifnumbu's leadership in Lagos, 23 years of Tifnumbu selecting those who are going to be in charge of Lagos, 7 years of Tifnumbu's partnership and relationship with Bokwari, 7 years of APC, Egbekegbe under the Bokwari's leadership. Lagos State still no get water, drinking water. So if they are saying mega city is a mega shitty. Una love to deceive on ourselves. But it's all right. It's okay. If it makes you sleep well at night in your mosquito-infested communities, unsafe, and then, all those horrible places that you stay, that, well, you are used to them, by the way. If it makes you feel better at night, mega shitty. No drinking water. For 23 years, Tifnumbu no fit get medical checkup anywhere in hospital in Lagos because there is none that is actually fitting to take care of the man who love you so much and has been giving you successors that were going to make Nigeria look like Lagos. 7 years after that, back to the trenches. They are promising you the same thing. The reason why everybody is coming to Lagos is because Tifnumbu have done this. Finally, APC, Egbekegbe told you. They said they were going to dredge River Niger. They were going to give them their own ports. They are going to dredge on a river. They are going to give them international ports. They are going to dredge Ogun River. They are going to give us a seaport. They are going to give them 20 million jobs in Eastern Nigeria. And blah, 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 blah. Today, they are now telling you about Atlantic Ocean. That Tifnumbu is claiming ownership of. Well, he brought the idea. I know this madness. I'm just saying. 2022, they are still using Lagos. The shitty Lagos. The shittiest Lagos. See, no bite me, oh. I know say they be somehow, but they say again and again and again and again, Lagos State is the worst place, the worst city in the whole world to raise a child. Guess what? There is a place they call in Syria, you know. There is a place in Syria, Damascus. A place in Syria is called Damascus. Damascus is like a city too. They say you feel go raise your child in Damascus. And you still, no, it's dangerous too. It's dangerous. But it's better than Lagos. Oh yeah, now why you go take your child to Damascus? No. My own kids are fine, okay? My kids are not in Lagos. My kids are, you know what I mean? They are fine. I'm so worried about some of your own kids. Some of you are like Nero, no, like Lokoloi, Elebi, Oniya, Onishei, You are watching the whole thing desecrated, everything depreciating. You are watching your children wasting away. Now today, some weirdos can come around and say, let us use Lagos as a template so that everywhere in Nigeria can be like Lagos. Because some of you have no idea what they are actually saying in a way. So yeah, they are playing their Muslim ticket. Horribly, it is getting worse. I need a break. Sowore, say something.
The one who died. And that means if we had tried to recover from the ones that are alive, probably would have recovered even more money from them fighting corruption. There's nobody fighting corruption around here. People are just using corruption to fight, for themselves.
Now, I want to ask, what role do you think the role you think international communities are playing as far as illicit funds transferred abroad is concerned? Do you think they are doing enough to support them?
Until you start punishing the banks that are serving as conduits for transferring money abroad, until you start naming them, shaming them, fining them, jailing their corrupt officials, as they do in the Western world. If you steal $50,000 in the U.S., okay, let me give you an example. For Halliburton case of 180 million bribery that took place in Nigeria, the U.S. made over $6 billion from fines imposed on characters that were involved. They jailed people, and Nigeria was only able to make $25 million because they declared Dick Cheney wanted, the former vice president of the U.S. At the moment the money came, the lawyers hired by the federal government took the money away. Today you cannot explain what happened to the money that they got from Halliburton by just declaring Dick Cheney wanted. So that's what we are talking about. There are people here who don't even understand how the world is working, and who don't understand that you can actually use this crime that has been committed, if you do it very well, to fight against everybody that is involved, including international actors who have been involved, because there's a trail when money moves. The volume of money that's moved out of Nigeria, there's a paper trail for it. And we need also forensic investigators at home. But the point I'm making is that you have to close the tap. Until you close the tap, you probably will be wasting your resources running after monies that had been stolen already. And another thing is the hypocrisy about how we recover money. Abacha is dead. We are after every penny he stole. Babangida is still around. You go and work, you go and visit him whenever you want to run for office. Oba Obasanjo is still around. All the thieves who are still alive, you are not doing anything about them. But you are going after the one who died. And that means if we had tried to...
Sure. Oh, I miss Sowore. Some people said that, but Magitegun, why are you not showing us about Sowore's campaign? I said, listen, I would have, in fact, I would love to. I've said that several times. But on my side, it's just going to sound like, hypocrisy. Because I will never present Sowore the same way I'm going to present some of these guys, including Obi. Because I can tell you, is originality. Very, very original. And when I say he's original, as I believe so much in him, I don't believe in him being president of Nigeria. I don't. Personally, I've given my support. Okay? I've given my personal, reach out, show. Well, all the best in your journey. This is what I could give to support you. I've done that personally, privately. But if I should bring Sowore on and then, bring all his stuff and all that here, it will make it look like maybe I actually have interest in their charade election. So it's somebody I feel more or less like, no, I'm just going to stay away, except when I have something like a sound bite from him, I would love to share with you. I don't believe in Nigeria election or the system at all. Okay? And if I see people who are trying to make people believe that they could do something about that same system, using that same resources, I am actually not the type that will pretend that maybe they are right. It's not about being right or wrong. It is about just, something I'll say personal ethic. I don't believe Nigeria could be rescued. I don't believe any iota of it, even if you have good intention or bad. I don't care. I have seen it enough. And I've seen many failures of those who actually, in fact, I've seen a lot of people who had good intentions. and they got the chance. And they turned to the monster that the system exactly always breed. And I figured out that it's the system mostly, not just the people. But it's like, but the people make the system. I say, yes, this particular one is not made by the actors that you are seeing acting on it. A majority are just latching on it, gaining from it, and building their own whatever empire from it. Do you understand that? They didn't build it. If my generation want to decide what works for them, then that my generation should be allowed. Like the generation who put this in place. This one that is not working. This one that everybody is trying to fix. I am genuine. I mean well for no, I don't care. I don't care. You come to that reality too at some point. It's a pure waste of time. And if I have a time to waste, I will waste that time telling everybody that we could get a better country if all of us says we are done. Do you understand the both, right? You want to save Nigeria. To me, you are wasting your time. Go on, do it. I mean, just go ahead. When you finish wasting your time, you're going to come back to that reality and it may be too late. As for myself, I would rather waste my own time spending and, my resources and all that, telling everybody that care or who cares to listen and say, don't try. Don't waste your time. Don't, if you have a time to waste at all, as it is, use that time on quality things. Something that can be taught our own children and all that. So that's why I decided not to invite Sowore here to discuss about his politics. That's why I didn't really talk more, or I don't talk more about his politics. Because if I do, seriously, it's going to sound more like I'm promoting. I mean, I actually want him. And I don't believe in that. Since I don't, Sowore is one one germ that when there is no longer election, our conversation will likely tally. You get what I mean? So again, give them again.
The one who died. And that means if we had tried to recover from the ones alive, probably would have recovered even more money from them that we recover from the guy who died some almost 20 years ago.
On the final note, sir, I just want to ask, now you're a presidential candidate.
Yes.
What will you do differently when you get to power, as far as corruption is concerned?
I'm surrounded by all these APC people here. If I reveal my strategies, they will steal it. But honestly, the most important thing is to prevent people from stealing. And we know how to do it. And a lot of ways to do it includes, digitalizing how we carry out transactions. There's no point anymore paying salaries through, buckets of water. There's no point anymore, there's no reason why we are not using blockchain technology, for example, to ensure that our process of contracting is transparent. There's e-contracting these days that can be done. There's a lot of ways, even to cut down on the number of ghost workers in the country, which I heard is about 25% of our workforce. You can just put fingerprint scanners at the door of every ministry. You can put a retina scanner in the front of everybody's office so that everybody who is entering and getting out of these offices are people who are alive, recognizable. At the end of the month, you use that data to pay their salaries. That way you don't lose any money unnecessarily. But when you expose your process and system to thieves and you make it possible for them to manipulate it, you still have universities in this country. You want to go and rent a hall from them. They are writing the receipt with long hands on the paper. Nobody's doing that anywhere in the world. So there's a lot of things that we can just get rid of in terms of how transactions are carried out. At the moment we do that, we reduce the number of people who have nothing to do with this kind of transactions, and we close the loopholes that made it possible for people to steal. I propose, for example, that there should be nothing like security votes for governors, because those kind of money could go into the payment of salaries of workers. If there are security challenges in a state, let the governors pay directly into, an account for which that security issue is managed. If it's to the police, let's know the amount of money. Let it be transparent. Let there be a transaction that is digital, not that you just take out.
Well, sure. Another thing is that on this platform, I remember our own vintage Sowore that said that PVC is poverty validation card. Something needed to be done before anybody could go into an election. Now he's about to go and validate that process with them. So to me, it's going to be like, now if the whole thing comes down to as usual, are we all going to come back and then start talking about rigging? And then we can put together our anger and rage again and go back to where we were 3 years ago or 5 years ago or something like that. So that kind of you know, that kind of repeats and rinse and all that, they are no longer my thing. Okay. And that is why I wish him well. I do really wish him well. And you can always respect his energy in a way. So the politics is turning into tribal this, religious that,